so a dangerous kick return team for Penn State. Big crowd, folks still filing into the link. Traffic was murder getting in, and we're underway. And here's Powell. Fakes the reverse. And Temple hung in there. Disciplined special teams.
Boyne came in and took care of it. A little business going on early, not good for Penn State. But I think you need to have one quarterback. I really do. And they're hoping to find that.
False start. Offense, number 80. 5-yard penalty. First down.
That's an early introduction to our Big Ten officiating crew, and the boss of that is Alex Kemp. It's interesting. You read the papers. Neither of these quarterbacks like this at all. Bolden is especially outspoken about it. He thinks the job should be his.
Yeah, I would say it's almost acrimonious between the two of them.
Penn State will go to the ground right away with Silas Redd. He's a terrific running back. Out to the 22-yard line for a gain of 5. They get the yardage back. It'll be second down and 10. Ray, take us through the impact players, starting with Silas Redd and the Penn State run game.
Well, he's an outstanding back who I think has all the attributes you need to be an all-time rushing leader for for Penn State. And then Derek Moy, their number 1 receiver. They've got to find ways to get the ball to him more often, and that's been a problem throwing the football.
Going to try throwing here. That's right at the marker. Looks like by the spot of the official at the top of the screen, it's going to be a first down. Anthony Roby, 47, among the many tacklers in, but looks like the Nittany Lions are going to move the chains.
This is something I think Bolden has gotten better at, and that's pocket passing, and especially to the outside. When he throws outside the hashes and even the numbers, he's very accurate with the football. I think he gets in trouble when he throws it down the middle sometimes.
Moy checks out of the game. Brandon Mosby-Felder, 85, checks in. So after the Justin Brown catch, it's first and 10. That's straight ahead. Penn State football to Joe Suey and Temple all over it. And Ray, let's take a look at the Temple defense on the impact players. A couple of guys you really like.
Yeah, they play what I consider very disciplined, good defense. And they're led by Tahir Whitehead coming off the edge. He's got 3 sacks in his career, but he had a couple of nice plays last week against Alabama. And then Anthony Roby, their corner, a freshman. He's was told to us anyway that he's their best defender in the defensive backfield.
There's a little screen pass overshot. The screen was set up very nicely too to Suey. You saw the lineman down there ready to perform that protected pocket, but nothing happened there. Third down and 9. The head coach for Temple, the guy who's got him fired up, Steve Adazio. 2-0 start. Former University of Florida assistant. A lot of Urban Meyer's coaches have fanned out all over the country. Thursday I was in Starkville. Dan Mullen didn't have quite so good a night, but a lot of Urban's folks are getting head coaching jobs around the country. That's a nice pass. Justin Brown with his second catch, and into Temple territory go the Nittany Lions. It'll be at the 47-yard line. First down and 10. Gain of 20.
Great job by this Penn State offensive line of picking up the blitz. You're going to see multiple guys coming here off of the strong side. Watch them all get picked up. Bam, 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 hat for a hat. It gave Bolden the time, and he drills one over the middle into a tight window.
You can tell by the grass stain, this is a grass surface here in Philly. Straight ahead, and this is going to be a loss back to midfield. That'll be -3, second and 13 coming up. Nothing there at all for Silas Redd. You saw Kadeem Custis, number 94, and Levi Brown, 99, in there on the stop.
Chuck Heater, the defensive coordinator for the Owls, spoke to us. He said his defense right now, they're climbing the mountain. You know, there's still some things he wants them to get a little bit tighter at, but he does see progress, and they are getting better and better as they go.
Little play action, in trouble right away. That's a free ball. And Penn State will recover to the 35-yard line. Suey in there to fall on it, but as soon as Rob Bolden turned, one of your impact players made an impact into Tahir Whitehead.
Whitehead just comes free. He's unblocked coming off the edge. And I don't think Bolden expected him. Here he is. Watch him just come right off the edge. Nobody's going to pick him up. Nobody home. And boy, he got into Bolden's grill before he had a chance to even get his eyes around.
That's a 14-yard loss. So third and very long, 27 to go. There you look at Steve Heater. Pressure from the edge, hit again, and no ruling of an incompletion, so that should be a fumble. Now the referee is ruling it incomplete. Whitehead again got his hand in there. Initially, there was no call of incomplete until after the ball was fallen on. So it's an incomplete pass, and the Nittany Lions will punt.
Adrian Robinson is the one who gets around the corner and gets the handout. He beat Chima Okoli. Just a typical edge rush, but good rip technique, and then he reaches in and gets a hand on the football. And Temple shows something on defense here early on.
Big effort to block the punt of Alex Butterworth. That's a pretty good kick. Matt Brown makes the fair catch at the center.
In my estimation, is an NFL running back, and a good one at that.
He's number 30, and he's going to see the ball quite a bit. Everybody in the stadium knows it. And you see the good footwork and a great tackle in space that time at the 21-yard line. That's only going to be about a 3-yard gain. 2nd down and 7 coming up. There's the left-handed quarterback, Mike Girardi, a junior from Parsippany, New Jersey.
Girardi impressed me on film with just his calmness, his poise and demeanor. I think he's a little bit slow getting the ball out sometimes. He's got a kind of a roundabout wind-up, if you will, when he throws the football. And we'll take a look at that as it goes throughout the day. But he's pretty accurate with it.
Starting linebacker Gerald Hodges just limped off the field for Penn State. Keep an eye on him. Girardi looked like he wanted to screen there, and he has got a lot of white jerseys, and that meant a man open. And a first down for Temple. The catch made by Evan Rodriguez, who plays sort of a hybrid fullback tight end position. Number 90, Sean Stanley, was chasing Girardi, but he finds his man for the first down.
That's another benefit that he can give you is his ability to move. You see nothing there. He feels the pressure coming from the backside, uses his legs to get to the perimeter and find an open receiver in Rodriguez, excuse me.
That's 10 catches already for Rodriguez. He's been a major weapon. Unbalanced line there. Pierce again. And this time the center of the Penn State defense closed quickly. That'll be about a 3-yard gain. We'll call it 2nd and 7. We'll start, of course, with our Temple offensive impact players. Partner, who did you pick?
Well, that guy who just had the football right there, Bernard Pierce, is a special talent. When you watch him run the football, you're going to see a lot of bounce-out type runs and then cutback runs, and that just shows you the great vision that he has. And then Evan Rodriguez, he's that move tight end. He'll play some fullback, but he's the guy when Girardi's in trouble, that's the guy they'll dump it to.
That's exactly what happened on their first down play. Play action off of the eye. And Girardi overthrew, incomplete. Malcolm Eugene, the intended receiver. So 3rd down and 7. How about the Penn State defense? Who's the impact potential players today?
To me, it's the 2 defensive tackles, those guys in the middle, Jordan Hill and Devon Still. They were outstanding last week against Alabama. They get great penetration. You can't move them off the ball. Still, in particular, can just blow up a play by getting through the line like there's nobody there. Now, sometimes there isn't anybody there, but when there is, it doesn't matter to him.
Bumped it once, scrambling again, favoring that left side. Open, and it's caught. Deion Miller with the grab into Penn State territory. Down all the way to the 32-yard line. 1st and 10.
Dave, this is your basic scramble drill. When the quarterback's in trouble, the guys who are shorter in their routes, they go deep. And the guys who are deeper in their routes, they come back. And watch the corner there, Stephen Morris jump. See him jump that little out move, and then you rotate and go back deep, and it's wide open for Miller.
33-yard line is where they mark it. You see what Miller has done in his career, his 5th catch this season. Going for it all right there to the end zone. Contact. And here come the flags. Chaz Powell was in coverage against Rod Streeter. And let's see how this goes.
I believe it happened in the end zone.
Pass interference. Defense, number 2. 15-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
So another first down for Temple, and that'll put the ball on the 18.
Right there, you see the contact before the ball was even close. Another good look at it right here. And that's a product of Powell not getting his head back around and locating the football. Had he done that, he probably intercepts the football. And I've been seeing a lot of that lately in college football where corners and defenders aren't getting their heads back around and finding the football.
That seems like such a basic thing for a defensive back to do. Why do you think they don't do that?
You get beat a little bit, and so now you panic, and your fundamentals go out the window.
Pierce, and there's a flag right in the middle of everything. Pierce gets across for about a 4-yard gain. Let's see if it holds up. That was the umpire, yeah.
Generally, that's holding, Dave.
Glenn Carson, the middle linebacker, in among many on the stop.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense, number 42. Half the distance to the goal line. Automatic first down.
Now that's their outstanding linebacker, Michael Maudie. And nothing going right. And that is the Penn State coaches booth. They have elected not to open the windows, so that is the very best we can do. And they claim they don't know how to open the windows, and that's very possible. But a disastrous start for Penn State. First and goal from the 7. Figured Pierce will be the guy here. Good cutback, and he gets down to the 2. It'll be second and goal after the 5-yard gain from the 2-yard line. Eric Lattimore and Jack Crawford bringing him down.
Pierce is one of those guys who will always fall forward. And look at these numbers. When he gets the rock, they are 15-0 when he gets it 15 or more times. Fewer than 15 carries, you see the record. They lose twice as often as they win. And I can tell you, Steve Adazio is going to feed his back today, Pierce. Now, when they played each other last year, Pierce was injured in the 3rd quarter, and it changed the whole tempo of that game.
He has 4 carries for 15. Here's his 5th. Make that 5 carries.
Oh, I can't believe they haven't said it.
There you go. Add 2 yards and a touchdown, and Temple takes the early lead.
There it is, and the whole thing to me on this one is the eyes of Bernard Pierce. He saw the defensive line moving to the right, and he cut it back into a little seam.
So the Temple defense, after giving up
some throws down the field.
An 8-play, 82-yard drive and 4:05. This is Chaz Powell again. On the return, they fake that reverse, and then opens up in the middle of the field, and a saving tackle as he gets
a goal lead on West Virginia.
All right, that's a game keep an eye on. West Virginia has to play LSU in Morgantown. And wide open here is Silas Redd. Nice spin move. And Redd will get across midfield and into Temple territory. It'll be another first down for the Nittany Lions. Justin Gilday had to come up from his safety position to bring him down. An enormous hole by the line that time.
Yeah, and what you have, the problem here is watch this linebacker come and fill the hole right there. That's Blaise Caponegro, and he's got to be on the outside edge of that fullback to force Redd back inside where he's got help. He entered the play wrong. There's a huge opening, and Redd, when he gets one, he'll take care of it.
21-yard pickup. He stays in the block, this time open, and that is Derek Moy, team captain, a senior from Rochester, Pennsylvania, with career catch number 112. Kier Griffin on the coverage, and 2 quick first downs for Penn State on offense.
And Moy wins this battle right off of the break when he had press coverage, and he got the separation and got the inside position on Griffin, and it made it an easy throw for Bolden. They like to run the ball in this set.
And they do. And the one-on-one battle, this time won by the linebacker. There is Caponegro coming up again, 33. Gain of a couple, so 2nd down and 8. The first drive Penn State had featured, they were sacked for a 14-yard loss, a forced fumble, and the quarterback got beat up. That is the Penn State coach's box where Joe Paterno is, along with his son Jay and offensive coordinator Galen Hall. Jay is the quarterback's coach, and he and Galen Hall are the play callers.
They're undercover today.
Another dart through behind. Had the receiver incomplete. It'll be 3rd and 8 coming up. Like he was trying to get it to Shawnee Kersey, a redshirt sophomore out of Woodbury, New Jersey. And he was open, just threw behind him.
That's one of the things I picked up on film. Sometimes Bolden struggles on those throws over the middle. I can't give you a good reason why. I'm just telling you it's an observation that he tends to misfire a lot on those inside routes.
Brandon Beecham, number 3, now the tailback. He's right next to Bolden. He leaks out late on the pass, gets a block. Needs to get outside the 25, though, and he's not going to get anywhere near there. He'll get to the 29-yard line. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I count about 7 Temple shirts around the football, led by the safety, Kevin Kroboth.
And that's the big thing Coach Heater has instilled into the Owl defense, is running to the football. And watching them on film, it was pretty impressive, the amount of hats they get to the pile. And here they were in a zone package, ball dumped underneath, and they rallied the troops.
Be a 46-yard attempt. You see what Evan Lewis's career long is. Nope. At the moment, it's the home team in front. That's Pierce's 6th carry. And not a whole lot there. Probably no gain, 2nd and 10. Let's send it back to Reese Davis. Matt Brown, now number 22, is in at running back. And the Penn State defense very quickly. Michael Maudie, they are linebacker U, and he is another example of a great Penn State linebacker. But Ray, take us through the opening drive for Temple.
Well, I think they want to establish a couple of things in this first drive. Number 1, of course, is Pierce, but number 2 is throwing the ball down the field. You saw 2 deep shots from Girardi, the first to Miller, and the second one to Streeter, and they ended up with success on both of those. They caught the first one, and the second one was a 15-yard penalty on Penn State. That keeps the defensive backs back. They have to stay back, and that gives you a better matchup for Pierce when he wants to run the football.
There's Brown in there, in motion on the shotgun formation. Looks like they want to set up a screen. Nothing there, and he just grounds it.
And he was out of the pocket.
Yep,
so no problem with that.
Yeah, grounding it did not mean he should draw a flag. He just literally tossed it 5 yards in front of him into the turf. So Penn State's defense much stouter that time.
That was the answer that they needed to have. But I'm not sure I like the play selection from Coach Adazio's offense. They ran one zone run, which to me, that's not their best running play. And then they tried to throw the football a couple of times. I'd just soon see him let Pierce establish something.
Brandon McManus. It's a bit of a wobbler. This is Moy back at the 30, 35, 40, and good field position for Penn State. Looks like he's going to be right on the 50. That'll get you pumped up right there.
I'm ready to go.
They have it a yard inside of the Temple 49 off the spot, and there's Red again. Across the 45 to the 43. That's a gain of 6, 2nd down and 4. Rob Bolden now starting his 3rd series at quarterback for Penn State. We have not seen Matt McGloin yet. We've seen a lot of Silas Red, understandably.
Joe Suey, the fullback, threw a really nice block on that last play to open things up for Silas Red.
How come is it you never see a defensive player with a wristband on? They have plays too, don't they? They have coverages.
There's some that use them, but
are you trying to say they're smarter than offensive players, Mr. Linebacker?
But, you just made a pretty good case.
Michael Zordich, the backup to Joe Suey at fullback, fights his way for a yard. So 3rd down and 3 coming up. Gilday right there on the stop.
Well, Temple had 9 people in the box on that play. And a lot of times when you get that, you'll see an offense check out of it, out of the running play, and throw the football because you know you have one-on-ones out on the perimeter.
You just saw Mike McCreary. He's the guy talking to Galen Hall, Jay Paterno, and Joe Paterno. And Penn State has the ball. Red. It was well read. Maybe back to the line of scrimmage. You saw Shahid Ballhill, number 92, clapping his hands, and why not? Also, Adrian Robinson, a two-time All-MAC defensive end in there to help out. And Penn State, after a promising start with field position, can't get the first down.
Watch Ballhill right there. See that rip move and the penetration. He picks off the lead blocker and gets to Red himself. That was a heck of a play and a great call by the defense, knowing where things were going.
It's not as if Penn State hasn't had good field position at times. They just can't seem to do anything with it. They did miss a field goal in their last drive. Matt Brown and single safety. Calls for the fair catch, and at the 10-yard line. Away, Al Golden takes a bittersweet hug and ends up losing that one. 22-13. And a great job. Michael Maudie is on the Bucky's
Temple Owls getting it done early on.
Well, if that's Apollo Creed in the white uniforms at the moment, Rocky has scored a technical knockdown, or excuse me, a standing 8 already on Penn State. And it's Pierce to the 15. Boy, that is some super running by Pierce. Knocked out of bounds at the 23-yard line by Nick Suke. There were a couple of times, Ray, I was certain he was going to be caught in the backfield. Maudie missed the tackle, and instead it's going to be a 13-yard gain to the 23.
And right there, you see Maudie missing the tackle. And the thing that I think he does better than any back I've seen on the college landscape is that bounce out. He's got great vision, and then that acceleration to the edge. I mean, Maudie thought he had the angle, thought he had it no problem, and Pierce slips away.
It's time from the empty backfield pressure, and again, Girardi throws it away. Now the blue and white fans here that are in front of us, the Penn State crew, is calling for a penalty. Jordan Hill, who had 8 tackles in the loss against Alabama, number 47, came in and put the pressure on. 2nd and 10.
Great underneath coverage by the Nittany Lions defense. There was nowhere to go with that football for Girardi. He just had to throw it in the dirt at somebody's feet.
Last couple of times now he's gone back to pass. The defense has forced him to stop, look, run around a little bit, and he's thrown 2 in a row into the ground. And we have a flag.
Offside, offense, number 18. Charge penalty. First down.
You don't see that very often. Rod Streeter actually lined up offsides.
And that's 2nd down, by the way, not first. And 2nd and 15.
The down is 2nd.
There you go. Yeah, you know, you don't see a receiver come up and line up off sides, and here he is. He's just lined up past the neutral zone, or into the neutral zone.
Draw play to Pierce. He took a whack at the 25-yard line. Drew Ascarino, 28, plays the hero position, kind of a strong safety. And Devin's still in there. It's still going to be a gain of 7 out of the 25. And here's 3rd down and 8.
Wouldn't be surprised to see Temple move the pocket a little bit here for Girardi and get him on the edge.
They've kind of been doing it by accident. Girardi himself has moved the pocket due to the coverage of the Penn State secondary. Blitz coming from the quarterback's blind side. The pass is caught by the second receiver there, and that is Matt Brown, 5'5". It went through the hands of Savage, and Brown ends up making a first down.
That's pretty impressive there by Brown of just keeping his eyes up and doing the old tip drill. Now Girardi gets nailed at the end of that throw, and I think that's what forced that ball to go up a little high. But Matt Brown in the perfect position and makes the play for the Owls. And that's one of those deals where when things are going good, boy, they continue to go good.
And Matt Brown really is 5'5". You know, sometimes they list fake heights. Certainly in basketball they do, but no, 5'5". They don't.
It's hard to see, Dave.
Yep. Another flag.
Ran out of time.
That's a delay of game.
Delay of game. Offense, number 8. 5-yard penalty. It remains first down.
2 penalties on Temple for 10 yards now. A couple of 5-yarders. The intensity Steve Adazio projected there. What an opportunity. I mean, your first year as a head coach, you come to a program that was in pretty good shape. Al Golden had this program in pretty good shape when he left. And it's so unusual because so many times when a coach leaves, you always hear about the new head coach, the cliche, having to change the culture and get people to do things differently. And that's incomplete 2nd and 10. But Steve Adazio said, yeah, I do things differently, but yes, I have some good players here. And what they're really trying to do is own this area. Philadelphia, let's face it, Penn State is just about as big in Philly as they are anywhere else. I mean, you go everywhere in Pennsylvania, even in Pittsburgh, and there's still a strong Penn State presence.
Another thing Steve Adazio pointed out to us was they lost 7 players to the NFL from last year's team. So he said, you know, we're a little short on depth right now, but he likes his frontline units.
2nd and 15. Why not just give it to Pierce? See if he can make it happen. There's that bounce out, and so many obstacles in his way, and he goes shoulder to shoulder with a safety before they do that. 3rd and 9. That looked like contact before.
Sure did.
And no flags. It's going to be an incomplete pass. 4th down and 9, trying to fit it in to Deion Miller in the middle of the field.
And Suke is the safety, and he's going to watch him come up here and make this hit. Well, actually, he got the hit afterwards. It was the other safety that came up, Astorino, who I believe got there just a scotch early, but he got away with it. Penn State dropped 8 and only rushed 3 on that.
McManus. The 27-yard line, Justin Brown. A lot of contact, and Brown ended up squeezing a 5-yard return out of that. So officiating crew there to let him go ahead. And it's still Rob Bolden, the quarterback, for Penn State #1. You have to see McLaurin. And that is dropped, and that was a problem. It's Kersey. That was a problem against Alabama. Dropped passes and to
the ACC, so the shifts keep coming, Dave.
Wow, that's disturbing news in a way. Nice completion that time. There's Moy. That's going to be a first down at the 41-yard line. I can't even imagine. The one sport, Ray, that no one has ever talked about all this stuff having an impact on is basketball.
Yeah, they're kind of along for the ride.
And I realize that football is the revenue driver. I completely understand that. But, I mean, you are really messing with some great basketball. If you take Syracuse out of the Big East, oh, brother. I mean, yes, you put them in the ACC, you get another additional great basketball program. But I don't know. I'm not a big fan of all this conference expansion talk. Bolden, plenty of time. Taking the shot down deep, and Moy had a good look at it. Coverage by Anthony Roby, step for step, but
I think Roby got away with something at the end of this play, though, and he stands over Moy and gives him, the hand clap. Here they are. You got press coverage from Roby. Does a nice job forcing it outside, getting the hip pocket. Now, when the ball comes, get your head around. See him working to get his head around, although that should have been caught. But right here, to me, that's taunting. That should have been a 15-yarder, I think.
Bolden 5 out of 10 for 59 yards. This is Beecham trying to make one man miss, and he'll get a couple of yards that time before he is brought down. Steven Johnson from his middle linebacker position. Well, the chase for the Sprint Cup begins with Jimmy Johnson eyeing his 6th straight title. But the regular season points leaders Kyle Busch and 4-time NASCAR champion Jeff Gordon having a resurgence this year. They're trying to be the top contenders to knock off JJ. The chase for the NASCAR Sprint Cup begins with the Geico 400 in Chicago, and you'll see coverage on ESPN Sunday at 1 Eastern. 1 out of 4 in third downs for Penn State. 3rd and 8 coming up. Pressure hit as he throws. Bolden was clobbered, and then a collision at the 35-yard line, and there the field judge has thrown his flag. That's Maurice Jones who made the contact.
There is no foul on the play for pass interference. The ball is tipped. 4th down.
Yep, that's the correct decision by the official.
Another big break for Temple right there, though. Here's the pressure. You see the blitz that they bring right there. You can see the ball gets tipped as the pressure comes. And once that ball's tipped and Jones got the hand on it, then all bets are off in the secondary. You can do just about anything you want, short of maybe mayhem. Although that even might be allowed.
No, Anthony Farah in the punt. Matt Brown to receive. And he's going to just let this thing go to the end zone, and it does. Farah just a little too much shaft on that one. For Penn State. 1 quarterback for Temple, number 8, Mike Girardi. The 11th carry for Pierce, and Devitt still just set him down. No gain on the play, 2nd down and 10. And here's what Penn State Ray has done so far with Bolden at quarterback.
Yeah, and not a lot of production in terms of points. And look, I mean, the result column, now that field goal was highly makeable, and they missed that by a little bit. But punt, and 1 3 and out. And Coach Paterno is up in that box somewhere. You see the VC right there. That stands for visiting coaches. That's where they are. Can't see them, but they're up there.
Pierce again. And the middle of that Penn State line is all over him. There's still number 71 again. Kyrie Fort, number 11, also in there, a sophomore from Stamford, Connecticut. That's going to be a gain of 3. 3rd and 7 is next. Still had you mentioned him at the top of the show, Ray. He and Jordan Hill, 47, had great games in that loss to Alabama.
Yeah, both of those guys lost over 10 pounds this previous offseason, and both say they feel so much better as the game goes on. They move a little quicker. Their endurance is better. But that's as good a tandem as you have, I think, in college football at that defensive tackle spot.
Pierce, 30 out of the backfield. Girardi goes the other direction and into coverage. That was not going to be a first down had Evan Rodriguez had a chance to hang on to that. So it's going to be 4th down and 7. Anton Lynn in coverage that time for the Nittany Lions.
This Penn State defense has really settled in after that first drive where they got beat on a couple of plays where Girardi scrambled and made something happen after the fact.
Almost blocked. That might have been deflected, as a matter of fact. It was. It was deflected by Mike Hull. There's a flag down, and here we go again. Another
Play was over. Personal foul. Kicking team, number 22. Personal foul. Receiving team, number 2.
Bolden, as he exits the game, he was 5 of 11 for 59 yards.
McGloin struggled against the Crimson Tide last week, was only 1 of 10 for 0 yards, and this will be pretty much. All right, that's a 1-yard gain, they rule on the completion to Red, so 2nd and 9. And Red on the ground. He'll get 4 to the 45-yard line. 3rd down and 5 coming up. Whitehead in on the stop. Well, let's show the combined numbers here, Ray, of this 2-quarterback system, Bolden and McGloin, going into this game.
Well, if you have a weak stomach, don't look at those numbers because they are not good at all for quarterbacks at this level. And look at what Denard Robinson did in just the 4th quarter alone against Notre Dame last week for Michigan. Pretty much superseded what those guys have done in 2 games. And the thing that really jumps out at you is that 41% completion percentage. That's nowhere near where it needs to be.
And Penn State suffering on 3rd downs. Ray, 1 out of 5. McGloin has time, finds his man. That'll be 2 out of 6. Justin Brown takes a beating, but he hangs on to the ball on the first down after a gain of 7.
Brown does a nice job of knowing where the yard to gain or yard to make is to set up there out of this little bunch formation that they have. You're going to see he's just going to curl up at the yard to make as they kind of mix it up. There he is, the outside guy, and he just gets to the sticks, curls it up, and it's an easy pitch and catch. Good play design, good play call when you need 6 yards.
That is Beecham, and he fights his way for 2. She'll be 2nd and 8 coming up.
That's one thing Galen Hall told us. They feel like they didn't give Beecham enough carries last week, and it was mostly Silas Redd. And they like Beecham, who tore an ACL back in 09 and had to sit out last year, but he's a pretty good running back too, and they need to get him in there to give it a little bit of a different look and also make sure Redd gets his rest. You know, you're seeing it, a big trend in football right now to have 2 running backs handle the load.
Even at the highest level. Beecham again, and that's a nice move. Boy, I tell you what, flag coming in. Justin Gilday on the grab. He did a terrific job because if he lets Beecham through his fingers, Beecham is still going.
Personal foul, face mask, defense number 24, 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Akeem Smith, the weak side linebacker with the penalty, so Penn State will move for the first time into, I guess here they would call it the cherry red zone.
Ah, nice. Right there's the reach, right there's the grab. That's your face mask. Good camera work, fellas.
And that'll be to the 17-yard line, 1st and 10. Easily the best.
He even got hit with the flag, Dave.
Well, that's good accuracy. Those guys go to camp for that kind of thing. 4 penalties for Temple, 25 yards. McGloin to that same end zone where we had 1 touchdown. Oh, Moy almost made a remarkable catch, but Gilday was right with him. 2nd and 10 is next.
There it is, coming down right at you. Moy adjusts to the ball. He's got it right there until Gilday knocks it away. Excellent play by Gilday to finish. That was that wheel route that Penn State's had some success with, and obviously Temple had seen it and was prepared for it.
Silas Redd back in. Redd, good blocking that time. Redd, touchdown! For Silas Redd, his 4th touchdown rush of this season. What great blocking. And saw number 9, Michael Zordich, the fullback, with an excellent block. Perfectly done by Penn State. And they'll ask the former wide receiver, Evan Lewis, to tie it up. So Penn State with a good field position started at their own 50, 7 plays in 3 minutes and 13 seconds, and we are even at the length. Short kickoff. And that's Matt Brown. And he manages to not get into a pushing match as he gets it out to the go to the Zerba family for their tragic loss. But Andrew decided to go ahead, stick it out, and play today, and he has played well. Chester Stewart in there at quarterback, and he was the ball carrier, picked up 5, 2nd down and 5. So wait a minute, here's the second quarterback of the game for Temple.
Well, Stewart was actually suspended for the first game, the opener against Villanova. And he battled. He's been a starting quarterback here for the Owls, and he brings a different thing to the field in that now they can run the zone read stuff because he's a running threat.
So's here. Oh, look at that. Textbook tackle by Michael Maudie. That'll be a loss of a couple. Going to be 3rd down and 6 coming up.
And this is a bad read. Watch him right here. He's got his eyes on the defensive player right there, Maudie, and he's upfield where he's going to take away that running back. That should have been a pull by Chester and then take it upfield because there was a big hole there had he kept the football.
They mark that back to the 41. They're going to say 3rd down and 7. It was a 3-yard loss. Stewart, the middle of the field, 1st down and a lot more for Temple. That's Joe Jones with a grab, and that'll be in the Penn State territory at the 43-yard line as Nick Suke in there on the stop.
Great route here. Here he is. You're going to see just a little waggle route. He's going to go out and then bam, come back underneath. The Penn State defense reacts. See how they overreacted to that initial turn. And as soon as they got that business, it was wide open for Stewart.
The handoff here is Matt Brown. Got a good little seal block and a 1st down. And Zuka. Yeah, but Reese, you and I both know because we witnessed LSU in person. That defense will be more than ready. Chester Stewart runs into a lot of white and blue that time. Yard gain, maybe. Kyrie Fort, number 11, getting some time at middle linebacker, and Gerald Hodges, who's back into the game. So a change of pace. We expected to see 2 quarterbacks at Penn State. We know that, but Steve Adazio and Scott Leffler, the offensive coordinator, trying to change things a bit here.
Yeah, nobody mentioned that to us, that Stewart might get on the field. They kept that secret highly guarded, but it gives them an entire different slant to the offense now with a running quarterback, somebody with experience in Chester Stewart.
And that's Stewart again. That time he made a nice read, gets across the 25 to the 23. That's about a 4-yard pickup, maybe even 5. It'll be 2nd and 5 coming up. And there's Fort in there on the stop again.
This particular zone read play is the one that made Cam Newton famous last year. You got the back coming across, running laterally, and the quarterback has got a great field of vision to see whether he pulls that ball or he hands it off. And when he pulls it, that's when he makes things happen. And Stewart did a much better job of finding the hole on that most recent attempt.
7th play of the drive. Temple 3 out of 6 on 3rd down. They'll keep it. And he's in some trouble here. No chance. That was really well read by Gerald Hodges. No gain on the play. Hodges, number 6, who limped off in the first series, has come back with a vengeance. And now here comes an interesting call. At 4th down and about 5. And you got all your timeouts, and I think that's what Steve Adazio is going to do.
Well, he's going to try and run as much clock as he can to not allow Penn State to have a lot of time on the backside of this.
So why
Penn
not call
State
timeout?
Should be calling a timeout right now, and you have to wonder, they had struggled with their timeouts, and now they finally take one.
Penn State.
Attempt here by Brandon McManus, who's also the punter, of 40 yards. While we think about it, you can see no problem, and Temple has retaken the lead. Play 39-yard drive and 4:20, and the 40-yard field goal. Good-looking kickoff that time, and
it didn't have to come out.
No, Davon Smith made the decision to do it anyway, and he falls over the grass basically at the. Thank you very much. We'll see what McGloin and the offense does here. Penn State has a couple of timeouts. Well, that's a terrific catch by Justin Brown. He pulled that off his. Then the all-important fantasy football now at 11:30. McGloin in some serious trouble here, and he was under great pressure from Adrian Robinson, who made his 22nd straight start today. 3rd down and 2 coming up, and with 18 seconds to go, and you're not in the greatest field position, you might consider a handoff here, Ray?
I don't think so.
No?
I think you have to throw the football. If you have any intention of scoring, and now there is 18 seconds left, you don't want to have to punt the football, but somebody behind that glass window up there, I think, is going to want to throw the football in this situation.
Or not. It's a 1st down for Brandon Beecham. Hey, remember, I'm on a roll right now, Ray. I got the trivia question, and I guessed the play right.
That's true.
Stephen Johnson there on this.
They're obviously joking.
Okay, I hope so.
But Joe doesn't like it up there.
No.
He says he wants to get down on the sidelines where you can grab a kid.
And McGloin almost got grabbed as he throws it deep downfield. That's caught by Moy with 6 seconds to go at the 33-yard line.
Oh, and you think about it.
They're out of timeouts.
Out of timeouts.
Yep.
They're going to have to quickly kill the clock here with throwing it into the dirt, which they do. But they wasted a good 20 seconds, Dave, by not calling that timeout when Temple was letting the clock run to try and bleed time off before they kicked that field goal there to go up by 10. They cost themselves a lot of time. Now, this is a great adjustment to the ball by Moy, coming back inside to get it. And a little shoestring tackle there. But I believe they cost themselves minimum of 20 seconds and an opportunity for a touchdown or a shorter field goal.
Yeah, I was going to say a couple of more plays you can do in that time, too. This is 49 yards from Lewis, who has... Nope, that's not Lewis. That's Sam Ficken. Sam Ficken, who's got the longer leg, and it's blocked. So the half will end with Temple special teams. Levi Brown came in to get a piece of that. Also, you see Zamel Johnson, and a huge momentum boost for Temple. Instead of just a missed field goal, it's a blocked field goal.
Steve Adazio is extremely pumped up, and here it is, just a pressure up the middle. And they were close earlier on an extra point that I thought, oh, they're getting good penetration. And that's a huge lift for Temple.
All right, now let's join Reese.
Nobody's asked me yet, other than maybe you.
I did ask you, yes.
Thank you.
And that was your answer. The kickoff taken from the 3-yard line. This is the mighty Mike, Matt Brown, literally bouncing off, continuing to fight.
Wow.
That's about 8-9 extra yards that... And this is the different dimension, except you're up against an awfully good front. Sean Stanley, the junior from Rockville, Maryland, just tossing him down for a loss of 5, 2nd and 15. So how have the Penn State quarterbacks done so far today? And the numbers indicate a better start in this one for Matt McGloin, who finished up the first half.
Well, they're 9 out of 18 combined, and that's at the 50% mark. That's a 10% increase from last week and from what their season stats are, but it still needs to be better. I think we'll see McGloin to start when Penn State gets the ball.
There's McGloin right there. Stewart takes the short option to Pierce. He got a big block at the 35-yard line, and Pierce again. Rarely the first man can bring him down. Finally, Chaz Powell did, and the player who was blocked for Penn State, Michael Mauti, a little bit slow to get up. He took a shot we could hear all the way up here with our headphones on. Hopefully he's going to be okay, and he is hurting right now.
Right here it is. Bam, right there. A blindside kind of look where all of a sudden you change directions and somebody shows up in your grill running full speed. Here's an even better look at it. Right there, the drop-off. Here comes the blocker. Bam.
That Rodriguez,
that's Rodriguez,
I think. Yep.
Who's bringing a 250-pound load with him.
And there's Mauti. We'll see if he's able to get back into the game.
A lot of the times those are just, they knock the wind out of you because you're not anticipating it. And so, you let that air get back into your lungs because you felt like you're going to die there for a couple seconds. You get that air back, you'll be all right.
3rd down and 6. You see the 3rd down conversions for the Owls today. Pocket collapsing. Look out. Devin Still finished him off, but somebody in the pile there had Chester Stewart's ankle and just wouldn't let go. So it's 4th down and time for the Owls to punt. There's a loss of 7 there.
Stewart's hanging out of that football a little too long. I thought he should have pitched it on the very first down play when he had the option. He held on to it. Held on to it for a long time before he dropped it off to Pierce for that little bit of a gain that they had, and he held it too long there. He's got to get the football out of his hands.
Timeout taken here by Temple. They had trouble getting one of their players off the field.
Yeah, they only had 10 on the field.
Somebody was running off, and they shouldn't have. So they're Penn State forcing a punt here from Temple. Gets away from Justin Brown, and he is swarmed under by a wave like that.
After the play was over, personal foul. Penn State won. Half the distance to the goal line. They keep the ball. First down.
Now that number broke up. Never a bad idea, though, to give it off to Red. And he's ridden down after about a 2-yard gain. More Keith Brown. I think one of the things we're seeing today, Ray, because this game is so important for Temple, they're really trying to show that they are not going to give in to Big Daddy from State College. They're not backing down, and they're willing. You know, you hear the whistles, I noticed, blowing a little more intently from the officials, knowing how physical this game is becoming.
And I think that's where Temple has a slight advantage right now in terms of being more physical than Penn State. Just a little edge.
McGloin gets it out of the 15-yard line. Moy, and he'll be shoved over the first down marker. Out of bounds, stopping the clock at 12:11 here early in the second half. Caponegro, who had the special teams tackle in there as well.
They gave Moy a huge cushion on that one, a lot of respect, and that's an easy throw for McGloin. And look for them to come back to that. If those corners pressed a lot early in the ball game. In fact, throughout the first half, if they come off that press, you're going to see a lot more of those type throws.
First clear sunshine we've had in a couple of hours. Beecham in a tailback, and he has it. He fights across the 20 to the 21-yard line for a gain of a couple. Kroboth, number 37 in there for Temple. Mentioned before, 1941 was the last time Temple beat Penn State. They had a tie in there. So there you see what's at stake. There you see Rob Bolden. You wonder what he's thinking about. It's such an awkward position. Obviously, you want your team to win. That should be your first thought, but you want to play, too. McGloin to the middle. Moy again. He has been very effective, and he'll get to the 39-yard line. Kier Griffin on the stop. Another Penn State first down, 18 yards on the pickup.
Griffin came up and had the press coverage again. You're going to see him right out here. There's the press coverage. He's expecting help from this safety back here, but he's not going to get it as Kroboth, look at the angle he takes. A little too far over the top. And Moy, they can't cover him. I think you're going to see him going a lot more to Moy because so far he's been uncoverable by this Temple defensive secondary.
Best thing they can do is watch him drink water on the bench, and that's where he is on 1st and 10. Beecham makes a spin move in traffic, and he'll get to the 40, maybe even the 41. Morkeith Brown, at 26 years old, Morkeith actually went in the Army as a young man coming out of high school. He's a senior from Harrisburg, Pennsylvania.
Yeah, Coach Heater said he's a man.
Yeah, and he is.
A full-grown man, and when he talks, the Temple Owl team listens.
He's one of those quiet guys that carries the authority of his experience, and when he does speak up, you have to pay attention. Second and about 8, I'd say here. Caught out in space by Davon Smith. Good tackle from behind. Here comes a flag. Tackle was made by Steven Johnson, a senior from Norristown, Pennsylvania.
Holding, offense, number 81, 10-yard penalty, second down.
Shawnee Kersey, receiver in there. So Penn State has hurt themselves with inopportune penalties on both sides of the ball. And don't forget, they began this drive instead of around the 19, back at their own 7, courtesy of a personal foul penalty.
And that was at the end of the play. Kersey, the defender, had gotten away from him, and he just grabbed a hold of the guy right in front of the official. Easy one to see. You can't dispute it.
So 2nd and 17. Going out. It's not going to get much. It's about a 4 or 5 yard gain made by Brandon Mosby Felder. So let's go back to 1941 when Temple did beat Penn State the last time that happened. And no, Joe Paterno was not around.
Yeah, this is a chronological order here, Dave, where you have the DiMaggio hitting streak, Ted Williams, the batting average, Citizen Kane. Go rent that today if you haven't seen it.
Rosebud.
And then, of course, in December, early December, Pearl Harbor attack changed the whole world, and later in December, Joe Paterno, strapping young lad, turned 15 years old.
McGloin under a lot of pressure. Now he's got room if he can turn the corner, and he throws it into the ground to the 43-yard line. I'm not sure. He saw some friendly colored pants in there, but Tahir Whitehead was chasing him. And that's going to be 4th down and 12. And every little step, every little drive stopper emboldens this Temple Owls team.
But they got pressure on McGloin with just a 4-man rush that time. Forced him to try and escape the pocket, and Whitehead had the pressure on him, and he just threw that one away.
Is it fair to say, Ray, that this Penn State offense right now is just not dynamic?
They don't have anyone making a play for them. You know, I mean, other than Moy, if it was me, I'm going to target him, you know, another 10 times in this ball game, because he seems to be the only one who can make a play.
Well, here's Brown. He bounces off of one and gets through, but he is spectacular fun. 13 rush number is so important here in a moment. 14th carry for Pierce. Picking his way through, not many holes. Glenn Carson, number 40 among those who bring him down. Gain of 4, 2nd and 6 coming up. Now, why is that so important? Well, look at what happens. And his 15th carry, Ray, is the next one.
15 plus, they're 15-0. Now, that sounds pretty simple to me. I would just hand it to him the first 15 plays of the game, and we're going to win.
But he's had some injury issues, including tweaking an ankle in the game in Happy Valley last year, and Temple did not win the game.
He never got to 15.
Nope. There is Stewart faking it to Pierce and gets across midfield before he is brought down by Danton Lynn.
That's why I believe they're going with Stewart, because this Penn State defense is gonna try to stop Bernard Pierce. I mean, that's what they're trying to do the whole way, man. They understand that, and they talked about it constantly to us, and that's why I believe Stewart's in the game, because they can key on Pierce, and Stewart can hurt you on just a play exactly like that because of his running ability.
Well, he's going to need his running ability here. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage as still once again causing problems. They might even give him a yard and call it 2nd down and 9. But that time the Penn State defensive line just collapsed that pocket.
To me, Stewart's a little rusty. You know, he only took a few snaps at the end of the Akron game last week. Didn't play. He was suspended against Villanova. And I think he's a little bit rusty in terms of getting his eyes down the field and reading where to go with the football right away.
He'd only thrown 2 passes in the first 2 games, both easy wins for the Owls. That's Cody Booth in motion. And that's the magical 15th carry for Pierce. Only no magic there at all. He fumbled. Sean Stanley decked him and forced the fumble. And instead of a magical carry, it might be a cursed carry.
Looked like Glenn Carson was the one who forced the fumble, knocked it out.
And you see Michael Maudie back in the game, and he'll celebrate with his teammates. Number 40,
Carson, who knocked the ball out.
Stanley in pursuit, number 90. Carson gets the ball, and number 1 right there, Sukai, is the one who finds it. All right. Penn State has had good field position in this game. Bolden back at a quarterback, but they've done nothing with it. And a diving interception. Kier Griffin.
You remember me talking about that route? And they were going to run more of it if Temple played off. Well, they played off, but they jumped it. Kier Griffin says, I'm going to play a little mental game with you here. I'm going to bump off. You're thinking you got an easy throw to the outside to Moy like you've had in the past. Not this time. He steps in front, makes a
When you think about it, Bolden hadn't thrown a pass in the game in how much real time? Long time.
At least an hour.
Yep. There's a shovel pass ahead to the 47-yard line. Gain of 3. And 2nd down and 7 coming up. Well, we want you to join Susie Colbert, senior insider Chris Mortensen, and a rotating cast of NFL analysts and guests in ESPN's latest unscripted show, NFL 32, as our experts discuss the biggest topics of the day from all 32 NFL teams. NFL 32 each weeknight at 6 Eastern on ESPN2. A couple of folks right there who know the NFL, Susie and Mortensen. Pierce. He may need about 50 carries to get 100 yards today. Michael Maudie and Glenn Carson. And we always talk about Penn State being linebacker U, and certainly this addition here of Maudie, Carson, and Hodges, no exception. So a gain of 1 sets up a big 3rd down and 6.
It was that Penn State interior line that took care of that business. They just stonewalled this Temple offensive line on that last play.
I thought linebackers didn't need any help, Ray. Didn't you tell me that before?
Need all the help we can get, brother.
Takes a shot in the middle of the field in traffic and incomplete. Tried to squeeze that into Deion Miller, and Miller had a lot of company that he didn't want. That is a tight fit. 4th and 6 coming up.
Well, watch this little window that Stewart throws it into. That's a heck of a throw and a better defensive play by Lynn, reaching across and knocking that down.
It's a tiny bit of hesitation on the Temple sideline before Brandon McManus was dispatched to punt. And you see what he's done so far today.
I think it was the good decision, though.
Yes, you're ahead and your
Pin 'em back.
defense is playing well. Yeah, nothing wrong with this. We got Brown and Moy. It's Brown right there by 19 in double safety. No effort to block. This is an end-over-end job, and Moy with a good hands. And he fights for a few extra yards. He didn't go down right away.
That Chuck Heater wanted to bring to this Temple defense. And they're an aggressive outfit that swarm to the football.
Matt McGloin back in at quarterback, and he just does the right thing and hands it off to Silas Red. That should be a 1st down. Proboth there, and it is on the stop. I wonder if we have seen, and you talked about resting the 2 backs, but Silas Red had a long rest.
And I'm sure he doesn't want a long rest. You know, Silas Red, I think, is one of those get better the more carries you have kind of guy. He's one of those, his favorite saying is you got to put in the work. Well, he puts in the work during the week. He wants to put it in out here on Saturday.
Well, you see him leaping into the defender for a 5-yard gain. It's kind of a Craig. There's another handoff to Red. Get it out to not quite the 40-yard line. Pick up a couple there. Sets up an enormous 3rd down and 3 as the strong safety from Hollidaysburg, Pennsylvania, Justin Gilday, in on the stop. And Red will be out of the game on this big 3rd and 3. And they're going to bring in the fullback, Suey.
Big down here for both sides. Look for Penn State for maybe a little play action pass and try to throw the football to Suey.
That's him in motion right there. Play action to Beecham. They look towards Suey, and instead they go to the 1st down to Justin Brown to the 47-yard line. Proboth on the stop. It's a gain of 7.
Nice read there by McGloin, because his first look is to that hitch route, and then he would look out to Suey in the flat, and everybody followed Suey to the flat, and it opened up things back there for that little hitch the sticks deal from Justin Brown.
McGloin 8 of 13, 98 yards. He led Penn State on their only touchdown drive. Pressure from the edge, picked up nicely. Middle of the field, open is Moy. Flag down behind the play, as Moy's going to try to get to the end zone first, but there's a flag behind the play.
And McGloin is standing back at the 40. He knows it's coming back.
Yeah, there's one person. Actually, the whole Penn State bench knows it too. There's nobody celebrating down there. Their fans are, but now they're catching on.
Offense, number 52, 10-yard penalty, 1st down.
Chima Okele, outstanding, is a graduate from Virginia Beach with the penalty.
And here he is. You see the takedown. He's got the arm across and over the shoulder, and he brings Adrian Robinson down, and that's going to just take that play away.
And that was a clear hold. I mean, you cannot argue that at all. So it's going to be 1st down and 20 instead.
A nice play by McGloin, though. They ran the corner blitz, and Griffin came in off the edge, leaving Moy to be covered by a safety. McGloin saw that and got the ball where it was supposed to go. Unfortunately, it comes back because of the penalty.
Beecham just got popped, and he fought for a couple of yards. Man, Levi Brown, 99, really got him. And then Caponegro finished him off, and there's a little conversation between these two sides again.
And Caponegro came downhill like a linebacker should. Watch him show up right there. Bam.
Yep.
Hello, here's your lunch.
Yep, that was Caponegro. Clean hit. I really do think, and I know Steve Adazio tried, when we talked him, to kind of downplay this game, trying to treat it as just another game. It is not just another game with this Temple program. It can't be. McGloin. And missing on the one-handed catch there is Andrew Zerba, incomplete at the 45. So now it's going to be 3rd down and 18.
Great defense by the Temple Owls. They had double coverage on both the receivers who went deeper, and then they had single coverage on the tight end running the crossing route, and then they brought the other 6 to bring pressure. That's pretty good, and they just are flying around the football right now. They have grabbed momentum out there, and their fans are starting to feel it.
You see Penn State, what they've done when they've had 3rd and long, only 20%.
This amoeba front there. Nobody on the ground.
McGloin felt the pressure, did a nice job to go underneath. That's only going to get him back to the original line of scrimmage. 4th down and long coming up. Griffin on the stop.
That was a tremendous series. They capitalized on that penalty, Temple did, and then took it up a notch or two.
Joe Paterno, who's sitting in the booth next to us, has never lost to Temple as the head coach. Come to think of it, when he was an assistant coach, they never lost. Big rush, it's blocked! Another momentum swing in favor of the Owls.
That was Dion Miller, a wide receiver who gets through and around that wall, and you see him reach out and just take it off the foot. Up.
Now from the Penn State 39. Stewart on that read. And he will twist for a couple of yards. Jordan Hill on top of him. Reese, things are really interesting in Philadelphia right now.
That they are, Dave, and things are very interesting in the ACC. Sports Center right now presented by Discover Card. Several sources saying that Syracuse and Pittsburgh have submitted letters of application in hopes of joining the ACC. Now, the next step would be that they would have to be approved by the Council of Presidents. But once again, it appears that the landscape is about to shift in college football.
Just what we don't need. You download that? Did you have some website you can go to fill out the application?
I don't know, but a lot of people are finding it.
Like he wanted to go deep and instead badly overthrew the receiver. The only person even close to that ball was the free safety, Nick Suke. So here comes another big 3rd down and about 8 to go. And I'll ask you in advance here, Ray, if they don't make it, do you go for it on 4th? You're not really in field goal range.
I think so, yeah, definitely. You're going to pull out all the stops you want to capitalize on that most recent takeaway in the form of a blocked punt. Yeah, you go for it. But I'm starting to worry about Chester Stewart in the passing game. Hasn't been very good. That was a really bad pass, that last one, in between 2 receivers. You wonder if Girardi will end up back in this ballgame.
Takes the shot down toward the end zone. Man there, and he overthrew him. It was incomplete, trying to go to C.J. Hammond, a junior from out of D.C. And now here we go with 4th down and 8. The defense is playing wonderfully. If you're Steve Adazio.
It looks like they're bringing them out.
Of course, you said they're going to pull out all the stops.
Maybe you get a fake here. Penn State leaves the defense in to play what they call punt safe, where they're going to try and just play their normal defense in case a fake punt comes.
Yep, and actually have the safety, Drew Astorino, back there, and that's him with the football at the 10-yard line. He'll just fall down around the 13. And that's a 20.
Can't wait to see it.
McGloin stays in at quarterback. And there is Red. He'll bounce, get to just the 15-yard line for 2. Second down and 8. Adrian Robinson on the stop. How has the two-headed Penn State quarterback system worked today? There you see the numbers. 14 for 25 for 166. And the interception.
I think that interception actually should go on Bolden's side of the ledger. He threw that pick, but nonetheless, none of those numbers are something that make you look twice and say, oh, they're getting it done.
Under pressure, that pass was deflected, and Suey still caught it. Wrestled with the
Presence on the sideline, it really hurts you intangibly.
What a nice throw and a good catch by Derek Moy, who's arguably Penn's best player today. Anthony Roby was all over him in blanket coverage. It's going to be a first down for Penn State.
I would, as I said earlier, continue to target Moy because he's uncoverable. He's a man amongst boys out there. I mean, look at that. They're all over him with the coverage from Roby, and he still is able to bring it in. I would ride that horse as long as I could if I'm Penn State, finding ways to get him involved.
Hand off to Beecham. He was able to get around Levi Brown, but not able to get around to here Whitehead as we sent. And Temple goes to Maryland next week, Reese. And yes, LSU West Virginia is going to be special. Had a chance to see LSU Thursday defeat Mississippi State. Their defense is frightening.
I love the way they play football down there.
Wow, what speed. Underneath, and a nice catch. Justin Brown's going to get it 2 yards short of the first down. So here is enough
of this game into Maryland next week. See what happens.
They go on 3rd and 2 to Silas Red, and there's a personal foul coming up. You saw some.
After the play was over, personal foul. Defense, number 20. Personal foul. Offense, number 85. Those penalties offset.
That's a good call because they both were battling. Now here's a play, and Temple understands it and sees it correctly as they bring a blitz right into that hole. Now here's the punching going back and forth there up top between number 20 and number 85, and it was post play, so they don't get another shot at it, which is a break for Temple.
The last punt was blocked. Here's Anthony Farah in to try to get one off again.
They're playing safe against this one.
And he brought out the driver on that one. That's a big hit. And playing it safe watching our broadcast. So a salute to the cause, and right now he's happy about the way his alma mater is performing. Now Girardi is back in at quarterback, and his first pass at the 40-yard line is caught. What a grab that is. 17 yards. Man, Joe Jones. What a catch.
That was an unbelievable grab. As you're going to see, this is a pretty tight spot Girardi throws it into. That's an excellent pass, and that's why they brought him back into this game, because they had gotten so one-dimensional because Stewart just wasn't able to find his rhythm in the throwing game.
So we're a rotating door of quarterbacks today between these two teams. Matt Brown is the tailback now, number 22. Bernard Pierce getting a rest. Brown will get the ball. He is so hard to bring down, but now great pressure that time. Maudie finished him. Wiped out by a penalty. Would have been a long touchdown pass for Penn State. Gets it out in the backfield. And kind of overthrew Bernard Pierce. He's 6 feet tall. He went as high as he could to catch that. So 3rd down and 14 coming up.
That's one of the things we've seen from Girardi today on some of the shorter, what you would consider easier passes. They seem to sail on them, and they end up a little too tall for the receivers. But when he's got to gun it, in particular down the middle, he's thrown some strikes. But it's the easy ones that he seems to let his guard down a little bit, let that ball float.
So I guess the issue is, do you go ahead and call a pass up the middle here?
I think you call a screen pass or a draw here, and then hope you get a little more room and punt the football.
Better hurry up because you're down to 3 on the clock, and Temple's good today after suffering that injury in fall camp. Girardi. It's intercepted by Penn State and Chaz Powell. To the 30. Powell brought down to the 26-yard line. He sat back and waited for that one.
And Mike Girardi stared that one down. And that just made it easy for Powell. He sat back, as you said, Dave, and waited. Look at him. He stared it down the whole time and then just let it fly. And I think he knew as soon as he let go of the thing that he was going to be in trouble. Here, you see him the whole time looking over there. That makes it easy for Powell to step in front, time it out, and make the play.
First interception for Powell. 28-yard return, too. So the Temple defense has held Penn State to that one touchdown and extra point. The Nittany Lions have missed 2 field goals, one of which was blocked. And they've had a touchdown called back on penalty. This is McGloin back in. He'll take the deep shot after the turnover into traffic for Moy. And he threw that one into double coverage as Kevin Kroboth, the free safety, came over to help Kier Griffin.
Now that's one of the things that McGloin will do. And it's a double-edged sword because sometimes that works for you, sometimes it doesn't. But obviously Temple knew something was up, and they put the double coverage on Derek Moy, which was a great move by Chuck Heater, their defensive coordinator. And McGloin didn't care. He said, I'm trying to stuff one in here. And he was fortunate that didn't come up as an interception.
Behind the fullback, Zordich. They go to Red, who has a 17-yard touchdown run. And for a moment, you thought he might pop that one, too. Steven Johnson kind of got a leg on him and brought him down after a gain of about 7. So here comes another huge 3rd and 3. And let's face it, you really can't count on the Penn State kicking game right now.
Well, they've had a field goal blocked. They've had a punt blocked. So you're right, Dave. You get a little nervous on making that decision, but they got to get past this 3rd down here first.
5 out of 12 on 3rd.
And here's Moy right up top.
Pressure underneath. He was out of bounds. Yes, that is right. Joe Suey was out of bounds when he caught that pass. Now 4th and 3, and the decision coming from next door.
You have to kick it. You have to kick it.
And that's exactly the plan. Here comes Evan Lewis. Watch Suey. Clearly out of bounds. Good call. Your line judge is right there. Not even a dispute. So this would be from 36 yards. Now Lewis did not try the last field goal that was blocked. They brought in the long kicking specialist, Sam Cricket. But Lewis missed one also today. For the tie.
Can you believe it?
Wow. Sometimes 16 points they've left behind here today. Girardi stays in the quarterback. They run an end around this time with Joe Jones, and he is brought down to the 24-yard line, and a good open field tackle by Gerald Hodges. That'll be a pickup of, they'll say 4, 2nd and 6 coming up.
That is a gutsy call because you don't usually see that till a team will get around the midfield area because you don't want to take a chance of turning it over here back in your own end. But Steve Adazio told us, hey, I'm pulling out all the stops. Well, there was another one that was a risky call that it didn't hurt him.
And they go to Pierce. And he gets to the 26. Couple of more there. Michael Maudie on the stop. Here is a 3rd down and 4. Still plenty of time left in this game.
But Penn State's going to look back at this one and say, man, we cost ourselves. You see the penalty yards, the turnovers, the field goal situations with 2 of them missed, 1 of them blocked, and then the blocked punt. That's usually a season's worth of problems in your kicking game, and they've all happened here this afternoon.
They've done a good job on Bernard Pierce. He has only 50 yards and 17 carries. He's in the backfield now. Sneaks out for the pass. There's a 1st down at the 32-yard line. Deion Miller makes the grab. He's the one who blocked the punt earlier. Powell on the stop.
Good read by Girardi. He saw the cushion that was being afforded to him by Chaz Powell. And so he knew right away, pre-snap, that that's where he was going. And he zipped it out there right on the money.
It'll be just under 9 minutes in this game. Steve Adazio, first-year Temple coach. He knows national championship pressure, but he's probably got that heart rate higher than any time he was with the Gators as an assistant. Girardi to the middle of the field, and it is intercepted. What a play by Maudie.
That's just a poor pass by Girardi. And an unbelievably great play. Watch him right here. There's your linebacker. He reads it, and the job there. All right, get under that crossing tight end. You see the ball's thrown a little bit behind, and that's just enough for Maudie to lay out and make the pick. See how that ball's behind the receiver? If he throws it out front, he's going to have a nice play. But just a poor throw. Penn State capitalized.
Bolden is back in at quarterback, and they hand it off to Red, who gains 2. 2nd down and 8. Now, there are some NFL scouts here, and I am sure one of the guys they came to watch was Maudie, and he caught that like his dad used to catch him when his father was a wide receiver at Penn State.
Pretty athletic play there for a big old inside linebacker. But to me, the read and then the angle, that was textbook right there on how you handle a shallow crossing route on a bootleg look.
But can Penn State do something with this? They've been given so many opportunities. Bolden under pressure. That pass batted down. And that's going to be an incomplete pass. It was a spirited effort by Shaheed Paul Hill, who also was the one who deflected the pass. So 3rd down and 8. Temple surviving in this game, Ray, despite turning the ball over 3 times.
And it's because of plays like you just saw there from Paul Hill. They just have had a knack to be in the spot where they need to be at the right time. And this defense, they've held Penn State to 7 points so far. They've had some good fortune, but I was telling you, that's pretty good.
Has Penn State held Penn State to 7 points?
They've had a hand in it, no doubt.
Yeah, no doubt is right. There you see what Bolden has done in his tenure. He has split the series with McGloin. Here comes some pressure from the corner. Underneath, 1st down. They give it to Davon Smith. That was a good-looking play. It's going to be another Penn State 1st down. Griffin in there on the coverage.
Griffin slipped, trying to recover to come back and make this play. And this is a great job here of just running past the sticks far enough so that when you come back and to get the ball and make the catch, you still have accrued enough yardage for that 1st down. Good execution by the Nittany Lions there to pick that one up.
Here's an end around, rejected. There's your man Capronegro again, the sophomore from Allenwood, New Jersey. Looked like Penn State tried the same play that Temple tried earlier with worse results. That's going to be a loss back to the 35 and sets up 2nd and 13.
Capronegro has great vision. He saw this. He didn't even take a false step on this play. He just saw it right away, came up, stayed square to the line of scrimmage, and finished. That's how you finish a tackle, baby.
Beecham is now the tailback. Time, middle, caught. Not a whole lot in a driving tackle. Talk about finishing a tackle. Steven Johnson did that on Allen Robinson, a freshman receiver.
Might have creeped him into field goal range there.
Yep, 3rd down and about 6 to go. Boy, wouldn't you love to be in that room next door right now?
No, I wouldn't, actually. You might have to be ducking and hiding because I'm sure Joe Paterno is not happy up in there.
No, he is in there, not coaching on the sidelines.
And, Dave, you have to wonder, with this game coming down to the wire as it is, will that be detrimental for Penn State not to have their field general down on the sideline?
How about the fact you just can't make a field goal? Underneath, that's short of the 1st down. There's Serba with a catch. There you see the line judge coming out, the yellow line, 21-yard line. And they do it. They go to their man of the match, Moy. 1st down to the 12.
Well, if you are going to go for it, go to the best player on the field. And that's what they did with Moy.
He is in the top 10 all-time in career receptions at Penn State. Picked up one of the biggest of his career right there.
It's going to be a little slant route right there. Kier Griffin, he's got the coverage. He's in pretty good shape. He was a little late getting the arm across, and that was a nice throw.
Yeah. 6 catches for Moy for 102.
Bolden put some zip on that last one.
Handoff. This is Brandon Beecham inside the 10 down to the 7-yard line. It'll be 2nd down and 5. Johnson on the stop. Temple has never beaten Penn State. They led at halftime today. They led at halftime a year ago, but lost at State College. 0-27 against Joe Paterno. You got to go back to 1941. Let me correct that. It just seems like
Forever
not in
as far
my
as you and I
lifetime.
are concerned, right?
That was the last win. There you see the frustration they faced. A lot of people have been frustrated by Joe Paterno teams.
Moy up top. Might fade to him.
Instead, they go on the ground, and it's Beecham, and he's just short of the first down. Here comes 3rd down and a yard. So Silas Red.
1,000, the new facilities. He says there's no limit here.
3rd down and a couple.
Oh, snap! Who got it? That's the key.
And there you see the 4th down fist that comes up. 2 officials have already ruled it's Penn State ball.
Now you kick your field goal.
Yes. And they stopped the clock. It ran for a few extra seconds. They finally get around to stop it. But the officials very quickly ruled. And that might have been the fullback, Zordich, number 9, who came out with it.
Right there, you see that ball just never quite got up. Stankiewicz, the center. That ball went back down between his legs.
And now Penn State, they may have to burn a timeout here. They are pretty late getting the kicker out. Temple runs some
20.
defense off. Yeah, but they got to get it organized. They're going to go for the tie here.
Good decision. I think you have to. And now they do take that time. Dave, I would try to draw Temple off sides to get the automatic first down, and I would let the clock run out and back them up 5. You get a better angle at your field goal. We'll see if they want to run a play.
And the officials aren't ready. The officials are trying to get in position. They have not started the play clock anyway. Now they have.
They're running the play. Beecham right to the marker. He might have gotten it on the 2nd effort. I think it was the 3rd effort, and he got that first down.
Wow! Penn State playing to win.
This is an impressive run. Watch Beecham get hit and stoned right there. He actually ran into his own guy, but he kept the legs driving and ends up pushing the pile. And that's why he's in there in this situation, because he's a bigger back. He can push a pile a little bit better than what Red can.
Got a yard and a half. I hate to ask, if they get to 4th down here, are they going to go for it?
Apparently.
12th play of the drive. Zordy, they don't need it. Touchdown, Penn State. They lead for the first time in this game.
I think they just finally wore down that front 7 of the Temple Owls.
Yeah, you got to give a lot of credit to the offensive line here for the Nittany Lions. Barham and Troutman, Stankiewicz, Pennell, and O'Keeley doing a great job. Big extra point here. Temple's going to have to get a touchdown
to move the ball down the field. Remember, Temple with only 1 timeout left.
And remember also, Girardi has thrown 2 interceptions, and that second one led to the Penn State touchdown. This is Matt Brown. He's a tough returner and lost the ball at the 35, and it belongs to...
Might be a while. They got to peel bodies off of that pile.
Man, I don't want to be making that call. Temple. Wow. That was almost the ball game. And we'll start with penalties.
Ball start. Offense, number 79. 5-yard penalty. It remains first down.
And 15 to go.
And I think the center, Palumbo, was late because everybody moved except him snapping the football. And it's loud in here. I know this is a home game for Temple, but it's probably 50-50 as far as how many Penn State fans are in the house.
The middle of the field, over the umpire's head, and short of the first down, but that's Joe Jones. And they get that out to the 42-yard line. It'll be 2nd down and 4 following the game of 11. Again, the gain of 11. Temple with just the 1 timeout.
They don't have to be in a tremendous breakneck pace right here. They can take their time a little bit.
And that's going to be a first down at the 47-yard line. Deion Miller with the catch. '41 was the last time the Temple tasted victory against Penn State. Pressure here. Girardi flushed. He'll get rid of it and hit the official. And he is part of the field. That's an incomplete pass. You can't blame the official for that. 2nd down and 10. It was Hodges who was chasing Girardi and nearly caught him from behind.
That's a poor job of protection by the Temple Owls. And a heads-up job of Girardi feeling that pressure and getting out of the way a little bit. I mean, at worst, it was just an incomplete pass for him, and it did stop the clock.
1:52 remaining. Girardi this time to midfield and inside Penn State territory. Spins Joe Jones. 3rd down and 5 to go.
Still plenty of time.
Only 1 out of 5 3rd down conversions in the second half. Time, middle of the field, open the tight end. He takes a huge hit and makes the grab, and there go the flags.
Absolutely.
Astorino left his feet to make the hit.
You cannot go up top like that on a defenseless player. That's a point of emphasis in all of football right now, and they're going to tack 15 on the end of this, and the Temple Owls are going to be right around the 17-yard line on their way in.
Cody Booth was the one who made the catch, his first of the game, just his 2nd of the season.
Another nice thing it does, it stops the clock.
Wait a minute. Look at this. They're going in a different direction.
Personal foul. Defense, number 28 with a high hit. 15-yard penalty from the previous spot. Automatic first down.
Well, just for a minute, the players for Penn State were walking the other way. But we clearly saw this as a personal foul, so they were just picking up the football.
Did he not catch it? Yes, he dropped it. That's why.
That's it. I thought he hung on. I never did see the football. There, the ball came out.
So that's why they had to go back to the previous spot.
All right, that makes sense. Never did see what happened to the ball.
Had he caught the football, it would have been down there at the 17.
So instead it's at the 34. Now that might be intentional grounding. There really isn't anybody in there. There was Jordan Hill who came in and nearly sacked Girardi. The ruling on the field is incomplete.
And that's a good call, David.
Yeah.
C.J. Hammond was running a crossing route, and that's who he's going for.
There is no foul for intentional grounding.
Freeze it right there, fellas. There's Hammond. That's who he's going for.
Okay, that's in the picture. 2nd down and 10. A minute 18 left. Temple trying to do something they haven't done since the beginning of World War II. Underneath, well defended, incomplete. Michael Maudie. Man, has he played a man's game at linebacker. 3rd down and 10. The longest play of the day. Temple's had just 1 play over 20 yards, Ray. That was earlier in the game. 33 yards to Deion Miller. In fact, that's way back, I think, in the first quarter.
Yeah, first series. And that was on a scramble. I mean, it wasn't even designed to go that long. But Temple has got to get it down the field a little bit. All these little short routes now, they're not going to get it done here on a 3rd and 10.
Well, he ran right into the pressure that time, and Maudie doing everything he can not to collide with a receiver. 4th down and 10 coming up. Last chance for the Owls.
Well, and Maudie got away with one there because it sure appeared that he was leaning on that receiver. And this is what it comes down to.
Somewhere behind there is a coach who is 67 seconds away from win number 403. If this defense can hold.
To me, this comes down to the offensive line. They've got to give Girardi enough time where he can set and make a throw down the field.
And there's pressure. He's flushed. And he's down, and so's the ball, and so is Temple. Penn State will hang on.
That was Sean Stanley with the sack, forced fumble for the Penn State Nittany Lions, getting it done with just that four-man rush. That's what I was concerned for on the part of Temple. That protection has been breaking down a little bit, and they weren't able to hold it long enough for Girardi to even get one off down the field.
The performance of the Penn State front seven, the linebackers included, and that front four, outstanding in this second half. They were just tremendous, and it's going to pay off. Penn State had their road test weekend game, and they survive it. Reese? Defense was outstanding in the second half.
Oh, unbelievable in the second half. That's what won the game for them. They shut down Bernard Pierce.
Temple's got an issue here with Chester Stewart and Mike Girardi. Two different styles of quarterback completely. Bolden will be the one to get to finish this thing off.